Hello, students. It's your old friend, Mr. Thompson, back with another exciting video. Today, we're going to be learning about or reviewing the different types of drawings that designers and engineers can use. We will be doing this through sketching. Sketching is freehand. Sketching is often used to express an idea that one wants to design for a product or a constructed item. So I have an example of what we'll be working on today. I've done a block letter T in the four different drawing types. I have orthographic, also known as multi-view, which shows separate views of true size and shape. I have asymmetric, which is three-dimensional, where all views are distorted at 30 degrees. That way you get an object that has length, width, and height all in one view. I have an oblique, which is also three-dimensional, has a front view of true size and shape, like the orthographic, with the top and sides receded at 45 degrees. And I have perspective, which this one's a 1-point perspective, front view, true size and shape, top and sides recede to a vanishing point. Also 3D. These 3D examples are often referred to as pictorial drawings because of having all three dimensions in one drawing. They look like a picture, like a photograph picture, not a picture of lemonade, not a baseball pitcher, but a photograph picture. The name pictorial often references that. So let's start doing these together. I got some blank paper. I got a pencil. We always want to do our work with pencil so that we can correct some mistakes or do things very lightly and clean it up if we need to. I'm going to take my blank paper and I'm going to fold it in quarters, which is something I do if I'm trying to divide things up because the creases in my paper allow me to have some guidance in placing my objects. So now I can take my pencil and I can just sketch out 4 boxes on my sheet of paper that I'm going to do my work in, like such. And then I'll go ahead and label things. I'm going to label it in all capital letters because I want to have a clear, uniform approach to communication. I am not using all capitals to yell. Like all capitals in texting and messaging often is referenced as yelling at someone. That is not the case. In engineering, drafting, and design, engineers have always used all capitals to have a uniform method of communicating. They want to be clear and concise in the ideas that they're trying to express through a drawing of something that needs to be produced or constructed. So I'll label this first one orthographic. I'll label this second one isometric. Lower left, we'll call this oblique. OBLIQUE. And lower right, we'll call this one perspective. Now, my example that I will be doing today for the sketches will be a block letter T But I want you to use your own initial. Unless your name is Steve or Samantha, then you'd have to do an S, which I think is very hard, but not impossible. But challenge yourself if you've been blessed with such a name. So I'm going to do a block letter T, which is really easy because if I'm doing a front view of true size and shape, my block letter T is either vertical, straight up and down, or horizontal lines that go straight across. So just a sketch, my lines are a little bit choppy. Maybe I should have started out with some very faint lines and then darkened them as I created my object. But I did start out with some darker lines. I can go back and I can thicken them up a little bit to make it more distinct. So in this instance, I've put my front view in the lower left corner, but the front view could also be in the lower right. The rules of choosing a front view is you want to select the view that provides the most information. And so I'm putting my front view in the lower left. My side view is going to be equal in height. But I'm going to make it thinner. I'm just thinking of a block letter where it's thinner on the side. And then this corner here would be visible. So this is as if I took that block letter T and I turned it up on its edge and I looked at it straight on so that I could only see 2 dimensions. And this is what I should see. And actually this would, on this object, the right view and the left view would be the same, but that does not hold true for everything. And then my top view, it's going to be equal in length to the front, equal in width to the side. And what's going to be unique here is these dashed lines for the features that are not visible in that top view. And the features not visible in that top view is this leg coming down. If I was looking straight down on here, I wouldn't know that that was there. So I used the hidden lines to denote where those are at. Okay, isometric, I'm going to use a little bit different approach. I'm going to put a very light vertical line in the lower right. I'm going to call this my leading edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an isometric guide box that I'm actually going to inscribe the T in. And then on the base of that leading edge, I'm going to project some very faint lines at about 30 degrees. So that would be, if you were to guesstimate, about a third of a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to think about my width over here. I'm going to go over about that far. And I'm going to make a vertical line straight up. It's going to be a little wobbly, not bad. I'm going to make a little point over here because I'm going to think about my length. I'm going to make a vertical line straight up for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my box. Think of this like a block of wood that I'm going to cut my T out of. Try and keep all your lines parallel. So they're either vertical or they're 30 degrees receding to the left, or they're 30 degrees receding to the right. And then I'll put my T in there. I can tell my scale is a little off compared to my orthographic. Not a big deal because it's a sketch. So in sketches, our accuracy is just not a strong consideration to accuracy. It's just freehand to express an idea.
Mr. Mom, if you're in the building, you have a visitor here in the office waiting for you, Mr. Mom.
That's awesome. Thank you. I am not Mr. Mom, so no worries. So I darken my front view. Let's go ahead and do this portion of the side view because that's going to be super easy. And let's do this portion of the top view. And I am way out of practice, so things don't look great. But hopefully that'll be a confidence builder for you because maybe yours will look better than mine. And then let's do this portion. So I'm trying to replicate this line here and bring that up. Bam. There's our isometric. All right, let's try and cruise through the next two. Oblique has a front view, true size and shape. So I'm making the same front view that I did for the orthographic. And then the top and side views recede at 45 degrees, a little bit steeper of an angle. So let's do this little part of the side view, trying to make that little part on the T like I did over there, but as an oblique. A horizontal line for the top view. And then this little line here, I have to put back down in this space with a vertical line straight up. There's my oblique. Front view, true size and shape. Top and sides recede at 45 degrees. It makes them distorted, but it helps it appear to be 3D, length, width, and height all in one drawing, just like on our isometric 3D. Okay, we're going to do a 1-point perspective. Front view, true size and shape, like in the orthographic. And my sketching gets worse as I go on because I'm another minute older. Okay, top and sides are going to recede to a point. I'll put VP for vanishing point. Very light lines going to my vanishing point for my top and side views. Let's do this little piece on the side view. Let's do this part of the top view with the horizontal line like we did on the oblique. Then let's do this little piece here down below for our perspective, 3D. All right, there's our 4 drawings. Orthographic, separate views of true size and shape. Isometric, a 3-dimensional object with all sides at 30 degrees. Oblique, front view of true size and shape. Top and side views recede at 45 degrees. And a 1-point perspective with a front view of true size and shape. Top and sides recede to a vanishing point. Please take a picture of this and email me that picture so that I can see how your work turned out. Have a great day.